Another slasher from Vinegar Syndrome is Berserker, the Nordic Curse, which was released in the late 80s. And this is one of those movies that really didn't have a good reputation about it. And I was a little bit trepidatious about going into this one because I do like slow budget movies, I do like a little bit of exploitation, but this one had a general consensus that it wasn't great. And at the start of this, we get an old couple who's kind of backpacking in the woods, who are attacked by and murdered by a bear. And that kind of throws you into this movie straight away. You get the idea of a berserker, a man who's dressed like a bear killing people, but that's just a kind of sidetrack because it is actually a bear stomping these woods, seemingly killing people. And after this really quite interesting and interestingly shot and fun opening where these two old people are brutalised by said bear, we jump into a group of 5 people. And of course we've got two paired, we've got 3 guys, 2 girls, 2 are paired off, and we get this really obnoxious guy who seems to be our main character. And I love these kind of characters in movies because there's pretty much no redeeming factor in these people, and you're just biding your time waiting to see how brutal they are going to get it. There's very little other characters within the movie. We are thrown into a police officer who is at this town, and his brother who lives in a kind of camper van who runs the campsites that are there. And I really liked the aspect of the brothers kind of talking to each other. I took it that they were brothers. They may not have been, they might just have been friends, but they had this kind of connection. They would sit down and have this just conversation. And looking back after the movie, it feels as if it was littered with kind of foresight and nods to what is really going on, but you never really get that during the conversation. And you could almost bypass it once the movie's done. But you get the idea of them talking about something that is stalking these woods, something that has happened several years ago, which is the old people's murder at the start of it. And we get thrown into the movie. We get this group of people who are staying there, and on the first night get attacked in brutal fashion. Of course, there's people going off into the woods to have sex, even though they've got a cabin. They end up in the woods for a lot of the time, and a lot of the movie is them kind of lost, wandering about the woods, and it can be a little bit repetitive and a little bit boring in points, but you know that something's going to happen, and it's just about getting to that next something happening, which is always really fun and quite well shot. In the movie, even though the characters are all vapid and empty, I was kind of hanging on to see what was going to happen here because it's got some really interesting imagery, especially at the end of the movie where it comes into some really neat ideas that I felt could really have been expanded upon when we get to the idea of the berserker, this bear that's attacking people and why it is attacking people, and a little bit of a change near the end that repurposes a lot of the things we've seen. I believe that there's a fairly decent slasher within this one, but it's kind of wrapped in a little bit of padding, a little bit of emptiness. We get, like I said, the 5 main characters who are so bland that I couldn't even pick them up now, having just watched the movie minutes ago. It's those kind of ones where you're just like, they're just empty faces waiting to be murdered. I did like the other 2 characters that were in this, but we didn't get enough of them. The Blood and Guts is fun and kind of uniquely shot. They didn't have a lot of money for this one, but it's not the best of slashers, but it's nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's a complete middle of the road movie. It's not one that I would never watch again. I would watch this, I would probably watch it with friends, but it's not one I'm going to rush back to. If I'm kind of in a daze, I want to throw in something that I'm not going to fully concentrate on. I just want to tune in and out the moments I enjoy. Berserker is that type of movie, and I could just, curious about what you think of this one, if you've seen it. Have you seen Berserker, the Nordic Curse? Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.